Hi, I'm Ryan Hanlon with the National Council for Adoption. Today we're going to talk about the ongoing relationships between birth families and adoptive families after an adoptive placement. It can be natural to have fears about these relationships. After all, most of us have never been in a relationship like this before. Understanding the benefits for all involved can be helpful. We're going to hear from adoption professionals and from parents about their experience.
There's sometimes so much fear with the adoptive parents, even after they have their placement finished. We would just encourage you to know that it's a lifelong process, that once the adoption and the placement happens, it's not finished.
It can be a natural thing for families to have worries or fears about maintaining ongoing relationships. They might have fears that they're going to be competing for that child's interest, or competing for who the real parent is in a parenting situation. Those fears are normal, and so if a parent is feeling that way, we want to encourage them to not let that be a barrier to maintain or to pursue a connection with birth family. While it can be normal to have those fears, it would not be a normal thing for those fears to actually become manifest in such a way that the relationships are sabotaged by them. Ongoing relationships with birth family are most often very healthy, and they are looked at by both the adoptive family and the birth family very positively.
We had a lot of fears going in. I mean, it's a huge life-altering decision that is in the hands of a stranger to start with. So it's hard not to be fearful about that, of how is this birth mom going to react to us? Is she going to be intrusive in any way? Is a common fear of how is she going to disapprove of the way that we choose to raise this child? And she's placing the child with us with a lot of trust. Are we worthy of that trust? Are we going to be good enough to give this child that better future that she's hoping for? And hey, how's the rest of her family going to react to this? Are they going to be accepting of us? Are they going to be doubting us or second guessing the work that we do, the way we raise this child? Getting over the fears was just a matter of time. None of the things we were originally fearful of have come true, right? So getting to know the birth mom, getting so comfortable with her, getting to know her family, getting comfortable with them, it's just like a normal, regular, extended family where there's a lot of common love and just joy brought by this child for all of us. If I had any advice for families considering an open adoption, I would advise do it.
For individuals who are adopted, the benefits are many. It can help resolve feelings of grief and loss. It can help with identity formation, especially around the teenage years when we ask ourselves questions: who am I? Where did I come from? It can be a way to have more information about social and medical history. It can help promote feelings of connectedness with extended family and others, and having people who we look like, or who have the same kind of natural aptitudes that we have. When we are able to maintain those relationships, there's an overall feeling of satisfaction for the birth family, for the adoptive family, and for that adopted individual when they, in both short-term and long-term, when they reflect upon the adoptive placement.
One of the other pieces that I think parents should be aware of is that when connections are made with birth family members, those connections can go along a huge continuum of very disappointing all the way to completely joyous. If you're there with your child side by side, you can support them and pick them up and help them feel better when things don't go well. And you certainly want to be part of any of the exciting things that can happen and the joyful moments that they have. Those joyful moments are all the more exciting when you have all of your family members around you, all of the people that care about you and that you care about, celebrating you and celebrating one another. It's really not something to be frightened of. It's simply something to look for support through and to join in with your child together.
First and foremost, I would say that any child who's got as many different grandparents as our child does is just in a really great spot. He's blessed in that he's the first grandson on both my and my wife's side of the family, and also for his biological family, he's, I think, the first grandson on the birth mother's side and the first grandchild on the biological father's side. So he gets a lot of love and attention from all angles.